All right, so what we were supposed to do today is talk about other kind of postulates, right? So before we get to another postulates, I was talking about there's other kinds of worlds that we live in. We live in a Euclidean geometry where we always see our parallel lines as straight, hyperbolic geometry where we see them curving away from us, and elliptic geometry where they're curving towards us. So before that, we are talking about specific kinds of postulates. So yesterday we were talking about postulates and theorems. Postulate is a statement that is accepted without proof. So there are three special postulates that we're going to talk about: linear pair postulate, segment addition postulate, and angle addition postulate. So with our first one, the linear pair postulate states if two angles from the linear pair, if two angles form a linear pair, then the angles are supplementary. So I am saying two angles, whatever they are linear pair. They add up to a linear pair. We know a linear pair is the same thing as a straight line. And a straight line, right? So linear pair is going to equal supplementary. So here we are in the first question saying using the linear pair postulate to complete each representation. So it says for the first one, sketch and label a linear pair. So here it is given for you: DEG and angle GEF. DEF is a linear pair because two of the angles add up to a straight line, right? So in B it says use your sketch and the linear pair postulate to write a hypothesis. So I have this, so I'm going to use my postulate. It says if two angles form a linear pair, that is going to be the hypothesis. Two angles equal a linear pair in mine. Angle DEG and GEF form a linear pair, so that's what I'm going to write. Angle DEG and GEF are a linear pair. Then in C it's saying, hey, using that postulate, write a conclusion. The conclusion is the other half. The if blah, 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 then is the conclusion. Then the angles are supplementary. So I said, hey, DEG and GEF are a linear pair. That means DEG and GEF are also supplementary angles. Last point says, use your conclusion and definition of supplementary angles to write a statement about the angles in your figure. So they're just saying DEG and GEF, those two angles add up to a straight line, add up to supplementary angles. We know those two are 180. Next one is the segment addition postulate. If point B is on the line AC and between A and C, then A to B plus B to C is equal to A to C. It's a lot of words, but basically it's just saying one half of the line plus the other half of the line is the entire line. That's what it is saying. So in part A, I just sketch it from D, F, D, E, F, right? It's saying sketch and label correlinear points D, E, F with E in between D and F. So that is as written right here. E is a point in between D and F. All right. Then it says use your sketch and segment addition postulate to write the hypothesis. My hypothesis is the if part. If point B is on line AC and between these points, then this. So I'm writing point E is on line DF, and it is in between D and F. That is it. Point E is on the line DF, and it is in between E and F. Now I make a conclusion in part C. Use your sketch and the segment addition postulate to write a conclusion. So the conclusion is this half, the then part. AB plus BC is the entire thing. So I'm saying DE plus EF is the entire thing, DF, right? So now I just write a measure of notation here. So I am saying measure DE plus the measure of EF is the entire thing, DF. That is the entire thing. Last postulate we are talking about is the angle addition postulate. It says, if point D lies interior of ABC, the angle of it, then the angle of ABD plus the angle of DBC is equal to the measure of ABC. all it is saying, right, is, hey, if we have a point in the middle, we could add those two angles, right? So, in the first part, it is saying, use the angle addition postulate to complete the representation. Sketch and label angle DEF with a raised segment EG drawn in the interior. Interior is the inside, right? So I did that. Wrote DEF and ray EG in the inside. Part B is saying sketch, use your sketch and the angle addition postulate to write a hypothesis. The hypothesis is if point D lies in the interior of ABC, then whatever, right? So in this one it is wrong. It is saying if point G lies in the interior, point G is in the interior, then of angle DEF. Point G lies in the interior. Point G lies in the interior of angle DEF. Then it says use your sketch to complete the postulate. The completion is this end. So it's saying angle DEG plus the angle GEF is the entire thing. DEF. So in conclusion, there are three postulates. First one, linear pair. It is basically saying you have two angles that make a linear pair, they are supplementary. Second postulate, the segment addition postulate, is saying if you have a middle point in between two other points, I can now say, hey, half of it plus the other half is the entire thing. Then my angle addition postulate is saying if I have one part of my angle and another part of my angle, I could say I can add it to the entire thing.